Gray. Come through. Come through, Gray. Come through. Good evening, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hi, y'all. I am so excited to see y'all. Happy Thursday. I am so excited. Like, really am. It is like 9:06 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And I am really lit right now. Like, I'm really excited about this topic. So, y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, come on in, hey, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, hey. All right, I hope my prayer is that if you were like feeling down before you like hit the button or whatever it was to come chill with me, I pray that your whole mood, I know your whole mood is different. Because one thing about me, I am a light and I understand that light drives out darkness. So, regardless of where you are in your life, my light will shine in the midst of your darkness, right? Let my light be what drives the darkness out of your life. Come on in, y'all. I am Dr. JaNee Mobley, affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I work with God-fearing women who work a 9 to 5 and want to make money from their idea. What sets me apart from other people who do what it is that I do, first of all, I'm me, and I love being me, and I'm me all of the time. But outside of that, I focus on helping my clients not only build their businesses, but build themselves. What's the point of having a successful business when you're falling apart, when you're emotionally just drained, and you can't enjoy the fruit of your labor? So while we help you to build your business, we're going to also help you to build yourself in the process. Because I truly understand that before people buy you, before people buy your product or your service, they buy you. So y'all come on in. I pray that you all had a phenomenal day. I pray that you all smiled. I pray that you all laughed. I pray that you all allowed the joy of the Lord to be your strength. I pray that you gave somebody a hug today and it was a genuine hug. I pray that you received a phenomenal hug. I pray that you made the most of your day, right? I pray that as you're preparing for bed, that you have a peace of mind, that you're allowing God's peace to surpass all of your understanding. I pray that you're keeping your mind stayed on him so that he will keep you in perfect peace. So as y'all come in, feel free to say hi. I love to engage with positive people. No negativity over here. Again, I'm the light that's going to drive the darkness out, right? So we don't do no negativity over here, but y'all can say hi. Tell me where you're from. If you're watching this on replay, type in replay or just say I'm watching this on replay. Make sure you text this link to about 2 people and invite them in. Because tonight we're going to talk about one of the main things that you need in order to start making and continuing to make money and make more money and build your business. What is one of the main things that you need? The main thing that you need. Oh, outside of that, hold on, sidebar. So October 14th, I am hosting the Know Your Worth conference, and it's going to be amazing, y'all. The Know Your Worth conference is going to take place on October 14th, which is a Saturday from 10 till 2, and the registration link is located in the description. Let me tell y'all something. It's going to be a whole experience. The person that you see now is the same person that you see in person. And what we're going to do at the conference, it's not going to be just you sitting there looking at me, and taking notes. No, you're going to take action immediately at the conference. So as I give you all marketing strategies, it's going to be about implementation. You're going to implement at least one thing before you rise your buttocks out of the seats to go home. Because what is the point of talking about all of this stuff that we're going to do? You get to the conference, get all of this information, and then you go home and do nothing with it. That was me. We're going to tell them that was me. So me being the person that I am to help people to overcome that very thing, I am really, really sold out on implementation. Right now, I am really, really pushing and marketing my event. And I'm just going to be honest to tell y'all what that looks like. I have a radio interview next week. Whoop, whoop. I'm working on a second radio interview. I have published my event in our local newsletter. Like sometimes you just got to really, really push it, right? You got to do what you got to do. And I'm doing this all while I'm working a full-time job, all while I am my husband's wife, all while I am a mom of 3 small children who live in the house because we have some adult children. It can be done. So if you're working a full-time job and you're trying to figure out how am I going to start making money from my idea, how am I going to be able to build a business while I'm working, while I'm doing all of this stuff, you just got to make it the main idea. So tonight we're going to talk about the main thing that you need in order to start making and continuing to make money. Hey, Ramona. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So we're going to talk about the main thing that you need to start making money and build a successful and thriving business. And it's quite simple. You need belief, period. You need belief. Let me tell y'all the definition. And I'm going to show y'all my dictionary. I have had this dictionary, sidebar. I have had this dictionary for it's been well over 11 years. And I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to show y'all what my dictionary look like. Y'all can laugh, but I'm keeping my dictionary, okay? Side 1, side 2. The 2 become 1. I use this dictionary to read my Bible. Y'all should see my Bible. I need to get a whole new Bible. Although I do use the Bible app because my Bible is, y'all think this dictionary is. Now my Bible is still together, but this dictionary. So I use this. My husband and I both use this when we read our Bibles, and I also use, so this is what I use. So I'm gonna look up. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Y'all come on in, share this live broadcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you text this to 2 or 3 people and invite them on in. So the main thing that you need, one of the main things that you need to grow or build a business, sell your idea. I don't care if you have a product, a service. I don't care if you're marketing it to a government. I don't care if you have government contracts. You're trying to do all of these amazing things. I don't care even if you're trying to build a nonprofit organization. You need belief. And I'm going to tell y'all how powerful belief is after I finish reading this definition. So to believe means to feel sure. To feel sure of something without any proof. To believe is to feel sure. Indeed, to feel sure about something without any proof. What does that look like? You're believing, let me tell y'all something right now, and I'm going to use him as an example because he really, really has people believing with him. We'll take Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Right now, and I don't know a whole lot, but let me tell y'all, people who didn't know nothing about the school that he's coaching at, a lot of people are on the bandwagon, right? If people didn't believe in anything before, his belief is driving other people's belief. And I'm going to tell y'all, it is truly powerful. This man has I have to go again, but I'll make sure. Thank you for joining me, Ramona. See you tomorrow. So this man is believing something that he has absolutely no proof of. When we think about how he came into this particular college, when he came into this particular college, I believe the stats were they won maybe 2 games last season. And they brought this man, he agreed to come into this university, into this particular football program and transition it. He guaranteed it. He believed it. He had no physical proof that he could do it or that the players that he would bring on and work with or the coaching staff would be able to do it. But he believed something that he had no proof of. This is what belief is. Believing in something, believing for something that you have no physical evidence of. And let me tell y'all, belief is a powerful thing. People are on the whole energy tip, but belief is a whole thing. If you like energy, because I don't really like using that word, because people like to use that word as if it's a god. But that's one of the reasons why I really don't like the word. But what was I gonna say? But belief is a powerful thing. The Bible tells us that all things are possible. And I was gonna go like that was gonna be the last thing I was gonna say. But we're gonna start with that because that was God, you do your thing. But all things are possible to them that can believe. All things. He didn't say some things. He didn't say one thing. He didn't say it was based on a possibility of something else. He didn't say that if you had any physical proof. All things. That business that you're believing for, that you have no physical proof of, that $100,000 a month or year income that you're believing in, something that you have no evidence or no proof of, right? All things are possible to them that believe. Selling out of my conference, all things are possible to them that believe. Being healed, all things are possible to them that believe. All things. That means nothing that you can think of, nothing that you can imagine, nothing that you can fathom. Your lifestyle, your family, all things are possible to them that believe. Nothing is restricted. And that can be honestly for the good and for the bad. We wonder why a lot of negative things happen. But the reality of it is that all things are possible to them that believe. One thing that I truly understand about God is that God is crystal clear in his word. It's very cut and dry. It's black or white. It's hot or cold. Anything in between ain't him. Anything in between is warmth. Anything in between is doubt. Excuse me. But he tells us, and I wish I had my Bible, like the phone, because my Bible is like, it's on its last leg. But all things are possible to them that believe. Nothing that you can imagine is impossible if you believe. Nothing. Number one, and I'm going to get into another story. Number one, you have to, when it comes down to your product, we're talking about building a business. You have to believe God, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your product more than anybody else. Meaning you have to be sure of something. You got to be sure of your idea. You got to be sure that your service gonna work. You got to be sure that when people taste your food, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that they're almost hypnotized and they're gonna always come back. You got to be totally sold out on the gift, the idea that God has given you. Regardless of what people say, regardless of what comes through your mind, you got to be sure of it. It has to be an indeed feeling. You got to believe that thing without any proof. You got to be sure that once you share yourself, your product, your service, your idea with the world, it's going to change lives. And people are going to come banging down your door to seek you out, to buy your idea or to buy your product. You got to be so sold that when you wake up every morning and you go to them people's job, that you know when you come home, you're so sure of the idea, the service, the product, the menu idea, the TV show that God has given you. You got to know that you so sure about it that when you come home, you're going to do the work. After being up since about maybe 5 o'clock and getting kids ready for school and dropping them off and coming home and doing homework. You got to be sure. Because one thing that I know is that when we truly believe in ourselves and what we are selling will cause people to buy anything from us. One thing that I understand is that majority of people they buy emotionally. What do I mean? When you go into a grocery store, depending on what grocery store you go into, depending on the kind of person you are, right? We buy with our eyes. If you go into a produce section, right? So if you go into a fresh market, if you go into a Whole Foods, the display is impeccable, right? The display is beautiful. Why? Because they understand, they know their customers, right? They know who their buyers are. Their buyers. That's why when you go into, I think it's Whole Foods, the majority of the time when you walk into Whole Foods, the first thing you see is their produce section. And their produce section is colorful. The display is very organized because people purchase with their emotions. We see something and we got to buy it. This is why majority of people, when we're talking about buying clothes, one of the best way for people to purchase items when it comes down to clothes is you have to have somebody model them. Why? Because people need to be able to connect themselves with whatever the wardrobe is. So when they see someone who looks like them or similar to them with the outfit on, then they can picture themselves, right, in the outfit, especially if you're a woman, right? So when you're looking at this woman modeling this outfit, you thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, she looks amazing, or I would look amazing in it, compared to it being on a mannequin or laying up on a hanger. When a person puts on clothes, there's an emotional connection that takes place, especially when they know they look good in it. So you got to be so sold out on whatever your product is that when people see you, that's what they see. That when people think about whatever the problem it is that you solve, or the solution that you possess for somebody else's problem, the first person they think of is you. You got to be sold out without any proof. That's the definition of belief. That you are sure of something without any proof. What is proof? Proof is physical evidence. Proof is something that you can see with your eyes. It's tangible. So to believe in something means that you're believing in something. You're sure of something that you have no physical evidence, no physical proof of. How do you sell your first product without having physical evidence or physical proof? Because we understand, again, that people are driven by emotion. This leads me to my next point. As an entrepreneur, people buy you, and even as an employee, when you go on a job interview, they buy you. So before people buy your product, your service, or whatever it is that you're selling, they're going to buy you first. So you'll purchase something that I have if you buy me first. Meaning you buy my emotion, you buy the fact that I am real, you buy the fact that I am who I am and I'm like this all the time. I ain't faking it. I ain't trying to be perfect. I am who I am. Right? I'm not trying to be like nobody else. People buy into that. One of the things that is very, very different now about the market compared to what it was some years ago, with social media being the way that it is, people are displaying their lives as they are majority of the time. Because some people be lying. Some people be lying, right? So people want to be, remember, people are emotional buyers. So they're driven by a connection. So when you're totally sold out on yourself and you believe in yourself and you're sure of the goods that you have, people will buy into that. I remember going to my first job interview when I was interviewing for a residency. And at the interview, let me tell y'all something. I sold them people. And the reason why they selected me is because they bought into me. Why? Because I bought into myself. I sold myself as being the only candidate that they needed to hire and select. And guess what? They did it. They did it. When you are very, very sure of who you are, and most of all, whose you are, you ain't even got to sell hard. You just got to be yourself, and people will buy into it, and they'll be like, hey, who is this person? Like, what are they selling? Deion Sanders, yes, he was successful as a football player, but let me tell you, he has built a brand as a coach, and people are sold out on him as a coach. He has recruited players that probably weren't even alive when he was playing football. Why do they come play for him? Because he believes in himself and in his abilities. He sells himself without even effortlessly selling himself, because he's just being himself. So you got to believe in what you got to believe in you, and you got to believe in what you're selling. And most of all, you got to believe that if God gave you the idea, he's giving you every provision to ensure that this idea comes to pass, and it comes to pass in an amazing way. Remember, all things are possible. Whatever you're believing for, whatever you have written down, whatever you have been praying about, all things are possible to them that believe. But you got to believe. You got to be sold out on you. You got to be sold out on your product or your service. Period. Period. I remember I was sitting there. I remember I sold myself on myself. Like, y'all got to believe in yourselves and what you're selling just that much. Because remember, people gonna buy you before they buy anything it is that you're selling. Anything it is that you're selling. Because people desire an emotional connection. Yes, technology is technology, but the reason why people scroll all day is because they are seeking out that emotional connection. Period. Remember, again, people buy you before they buy anything it is that you're selling. When you believe, you'll cause other people to believe. People will be drawn to your belief. People will be so convinced because of the way that you present yourself in the market, in the way that you present yourself in your lives, in the way that you present yourself when you go out and network, when you go out and you introduce yourself, your product, your service, and whatever it is that you're offering. Your belief will cause them to believe in you, and ultimately to believe in whatever it is that you're selling. I be sitting here sometimes and I'm like, my son watches this these two guys on YouTube, and they have this what is it? It's called Lanky Box. It's the Lanky Box brand. I don't even know what's in there, okay? But our son goes in Walmart and he's drawn to it. Why? Because those two gentlemen were able to develop an emotional connection with my son. How? Because he saw them frequently. He saw whatever it is that they were doing on YouTube. So they created a brand awareness in my son's head. So that when he went to Walmart where the product was sold, he was drawn to it. We'll take another one. I think his name is Ryan. Ryan has been around for a couple of years. His parents used to record him doing reviews on toys. The little boy came out with the toy. It was like this little egg with really nothing in there. And guess what? Our children wanted it because they were sold on the brand of Ryan. Why? If Ryan didn't believe in himself, his parents did. So much to the point that they marketed him consistently. You got to believe in yourself and what it is that you are selling. If you don't buy into what you are selling, then nobody else will. I remember when, let me get some water. Hold on, y'all. I remember some years ago when I was in Legal Shield, which is, it was prepaid legal and now it's known as Legal Shield. And they used to always encourage us to use the product, call the attorneys, use the attorneys as often as possible. Why? Because it increases your belief in what you're selling. And when you believe in what you're selling, your delivery in what you're selling comes off more on an emotional attachment. So when you're delivering your message to somebody who needs whatever it is that you're buying, they buy into the fact that you've already bought into what it is that you're selling. I bought into the fact that you can build a business while you're working. I bought into the fact that you can take your idea and make money from it. Why? Because I've done it. Period. But you got to believe in you more than anybody else believes in you. Let me tell y'all, business can be, it can show you a lot about yourself, and it can show you a lot about people. And if you don't have a strong belief in God and in yourself, it'll take you out. It'll take you out. Somebody's no will take you out. Right? Somebody's no will take you out. You got to believe in you more than you believe in anything else. You got to believe in your product more than you believe in anything else. Because when you're delivering it, people are going to be drawn to it based on your delivery. But if you don't believe in your product, guess what? They won't believe in you. This is one of the reasons why certain salesmen can sell. They don't care about you. They don't care about you telling them no. They don't care about you telling them that you ain't interested. They keep on talking. Why? Because they're sold on whatever it is that they're selling, even if they haven't used it. So you need belief more than anything in order to build a successful business, in order to scale a successful business, in order to grow a successful business, in order to even market your business. You need belief. Again, what is belief? Belief is being sure of something without having any physical proof of it. So you need belief. Last thing that I'm going to share is the scripture. I told y'all, and I'm going to say it again. All things. I want this to be plastered on your forehead so much that you see it all of the time. All things are possible to them that believe. And that can be good or that can be bad. And one thing about fear, and I'm going to share this. One thing about fear is faith driven in the opposite direction. When you believe, right? When you believe, I'm not sure what it is that you're saying. Whatever. When you believe, right? When you have a fear of something, it's just your faith believing in something that you don't want to happen. That's what fear is. Believing in something that you don't want to happen because your focus is in that direction. Faith is believing in something that you do want to happen. Of course, something positive. You may not have, of course, with faith, you don't have, just like belief, you don't have any physical evidence of it even actually happening. But you can see it before you see it. One thing that I understand about that, the way that God has made us, we can see something. This is one of the reasons why people are creating things all of the time, because we can see it in our minds before we can physically see it in our hands, before we can actually draw it. People can see it. There are actually artists that don't even need a physical picture of something. They can visualize it and then they can start drawing. Don't fear the ones that can kill the body and not the soul. Fear the one who can kill the body. Okay, you're a whole distraction, but okay, moving on. So I thought you were saying something because you're really not. So when you are in fear, and this is something that I have truly understand. When you are in fear, right? This is why the Bible tells us that that without faith, it is impossible to please him. Because when we believe, we're believing in God in something that we cannot see, right? We're believing him for something that we physically cannot touch. So when it comes down to your business, I want you to visualize what type of business do you desire, right? What type of business do you want? What type of business do you desire? What does it look like? What kind of effect will it have? What solution? What solution will it provide, and what problem will it solve? And picture it in your head. Now you can make it personal and think about the fact that you've used whatever the product is, whatever the service is, whatever the tips are, and how they have been beneficial to your life and for your life. So when you are directing in your marketing, you can drive people's emotions based on your experiences, based on what you have actually done. So I'm going to end again with this, that all things are possible to them that believe. Thank y'all for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that anytime that I'm on, you can join me, right? So make sure that you go to the description, click the link, and get more details about the Know Your Worth conference. I would love to see you there. Would love to give you all big hugs. Again, it's for women who are ready to take their idea and make that money from it, all while building themselves and building their businesses. For more details, make sure you hit the description and click the link. As always, y'all know y'all worth and have an amazing evening. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all. Know your worth. Good night, y'all.